Hey friends, amigos, дорогие друзья. I'm going to record this video on public speaking. In the just right moment, I will explain to you why. And the outcome that I hope for is that you walk away with a clear understanding why public speaking is for you. It doesn't really matter if it's in English or another language. I'm actually quite curious what your first language is. Please type in comments. No matter what your first language is and in what kind of medium you want to speak online or offline, I want to show that public speaking applies to almost anyone and that you can start doing it with no considerable financial investment and with great outcomes for yourself. No matter how old you are, at what point you are in life, it can give you very substantial results. And the reason why this particular moment is great, like it's actually, there are two reasons for that. First, I've just finished this topic in an international setting with Russian, Italian, and American people in the audience. So I still have their profiles in front of me, and I imagine that you are weirdly enough the extension of them. And it's so much easier to record these videos imagining real audience. As a beginner blogger, I don't unfortunately get a lot of comments, so it's difficult for me to engage in this kind of give and take conversation. It would be great if you help me break through this barrier, but for now it's easy to record because I'm imagining real people for whom I have just finished delivering this workshop with great outcomes. So even this video is not going to be as interactive. It's still a great approximation of what we've done, and I know, I'm not guessing, I know for a fact that it can drive real, tangible life results for those who will finish watching, right? And I aim for 10-15 minutes. Let's see how long it's going to take me in reality. And the second reason why now it's a perfect moment is like you're going to find it strange, but actually I have not slept a lot this night, just a few hours, because I was finishing this presentation. And you know why it's good? Because when tell me in comments if you can relate. Because when you lack sleep, your body starts to preserve energy, especially if you are older than 30. You don't have as much energy as before. So your body preserves energy, and you do feel a little bit of brain fog, but like this brain fog can be great for productivity because if you are an anxious, over analytical person and you tend to think too much, to worry too much, when you have energy, it's sadly enough streamed on these worries. But if you lack it, you just like don't have energy to overthink, you just get the job done, you're more relaxed, more peaceful. So sometimes I even find it quite beneficial to put myself in this kind of sleep deprivation states. Yeah. I want to know if I'm the only one or if you are the same. Please let me know. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's get started with our agenda. I will briefly introduce myself just in case you are watching this video for the first time, you've never been to this channel. Welcome, welcome, stay for more. And the three gist core points of this video are going to be why to engage in public speaking. It's so important to start with why, even though many people think it's fluff, waste of time. I'm going to prove you why you need to start with why, and then how to get ideas and how to move from ideas to execution without spending too much time. Let's get started. All right, so about me. I want to summarize my biography in these 4.5 numbers, figures. Can you guess what they stand for? Can you pause this video and take a guess? All right, let me reveal the answers. As of 4, I have changed for careers, job titles, all the way staying in the same industry. I have been in this one and only industry for 16 years, English as a foreign language. So I'm all about communication and help people to speak and get heard and get to the ambitious goal, be it a scholarship in the United Kingdom or job on Google. I help my clients achieve best results, best scores. I really love ambitious people and working with committed, ambitious people. And even though I've been doing kind of the same thing, helping people with English, I've done it through very different perspective. 4 job titles. I started as a teacher, then I moved on to become an academic director in a startup. I was responsible for the whole curriculum design, educational product and trajectory with great results. We had 75 completion rate of our courses. It's like way, way, way above the average in the Russian market. Then I moved on, started moving more towards the business side, product management. So I was already responsible for revenue growth. And then I became a founder of my own projects and graduated from an accelerator, startup accelerator, Antler. Awesome. Yeah, I've been in Southeast Asia for 2.5 years, and I count to be here a few more years. And you can see that 685 is the number of subscribers on my Telegram channel at the moment of me recording this video. And I hope that you will help me by sharing to achieve same results on this YouTube channel. Thank you for taking the time to get to know me. I think that this will put a further video in more context. I'm not doing this to like brag or sell anything to you, but I just want you to have the context and understand why you can really take this video seriously. So let's start with our main agenda. As you remember, we have 3 points to cover. It's why public speaking, ideas, where to get them right, the ideas that don't flop, and how to execute them, to get them done, right? To get them out from your mind into real life and to see tangible material results of your neuronal activity. I think there's nothing more sad than just like living in your head. Yeah, okay, guys. Why? Well, before we start with why, just a quick moment to like actually remind ourselves what the fuck public speaking is all about, what the definition is. Because it may be so obvious, but in fact, different people think about very different things when they hear the word public speaking. And it can come in a vast variety of forms. The range of public speaking activities is so wide, which is great for you because you can choose your own format that works individually for you. The definition of public speaking, let me read it, is the act of delivering, so it's an action, right? Delivering structured and purposeful, key point, purposeful message. You need to have a goal. That's why we start with why. Purposeful message to a live audience. It's not in your head. There are people who you talk to in order, coming back to the purpose, to inform, persuade, entertain, or inspire. My goal today is to inspire you to start speaking more. And then, depending on your goal and the outcome that you want to have on your audience, you choose the format. It could be informative lecture, persuasive sales speech, demonstrative, like showcasing how to cook something, yada, yada, yada. You can pause and read it on the screen. I'm not going to do that, not to take your precious time, and I'm already grateful that you are here. Now, I want you to think, now that you know the formats that public speaking comes in, I want you to make it personal. Take either a pen, paper, if you are old school like me, or take your phone and notes if you are a young person who cannot do handwriting anymore, and think about your personal gains and losses, what you gain by engaging in public speaking and interacting with people, coming up, and what you lose by not doing it. Please put this video on a pause and take a minute to reflect. Now, I will share with you my personal gains and losses of doing and not doing public speaking. What I gain is, of course, I get new clients for my business, I get confidence, I get energy, I don't lose, I actually get energy by contributing something to the world, and I make new friends. I made my best friends by coming up, showing up, and sharing. This is my way of connecting with the world. And what I lose, like actually, you know that most of the people are loss averse, right? They are motivated more by the fear to lose something rather than by the idea of gaining something. So what I lose is a lot. Like when I don't show up and I don't take time to record these videos, I lose the opportunity to see my own reflection in the eyes of others. Because I get to know who I am by seeing my reflection in the variety and the of other people's eyes. Yeah, that's it. Right, that's it. Now we are more or less done with why, and I encourage you to take this first step seriously, and if you're not done with it, rewatch this part. Don't move on further, because it's not going to serve you any good if you haven't figured out your why. I assume that you do know your why, and we have just 2 more sections to cover, and they're going to get more and more practical, and the end is going to be super practical, right? We get from ideas closer to their materialization. So the second part is getting ideas. Now that you know why you want to speak, how do you know what to speak about, right? What's the source of ideas? And how do you know in which format to package your ideas? Awesome, awesome. Let's start with the sources of ideas. They can be internal or external. Most of the beginner speakers search internally, like they search inside their head what I really care about, what drives me, what I want to share. And that could be a powerful source, could be really a powerful source. I do want you to be aware of another super powerful source of ideas, external sources. Yeah, second external category. This shows you what the world cares about, so you can find something at the intersection of what drives you and what the world is looking for. Let's have a look how you can find out. You can study Google keywords, trends, Google Trends, what people in different locations around the world search for. You can also read lots of Quora and Reddit subreddits and see what kind of posts get uploaded and what kind of questions get heated discussions around. That means that the world cares about it, and you can see how this matches with your expertise. You can also check viral YouTube blogs and see the headings of the most viral videos, and you can see the style of the people delivering these videos, and you can see what you want to take from them and also how you want to differentiate yourself from them. And finally, thinking back on the history of interaction with the world, thinking about the people who you've helped before, either formally they were your clients or informally maybe they were your classmates asking for help, also kind of clients, right? If you give your papers for someone to copy from, they are your future clients, right? They're going to buy your course books and consultations. So think back about the people who were asking for your help and think about they alert, attention, stupid questions. And what I mean by stupid questions is that the answer is so straightforward or obvious to you, but they still ask these questions. For example, how can I start traveling? If you're a globetrotter, but the person has never left his or her hometown, they ask you how to start traveling. And this is like super obvious to you. Well, you get a passport, you research tickets, you book something on booking.com, and off you go. But there is a segment of people who have not done that and they want to do it and they are scared to do it, and they need you not to dismiss their ideas but to break down your experience step by step and present it. And if you can like start noticing and logging in these stupid questions, you will come with a treasure trove of topics to speak about. Now, thinking back on the other external tools such as Google Keywords, Quora, and YouTube videos, today at the workshop I've heard a great objection, and I really love when people voice their objections. So please also voice your objections in the comments below. I want to know what you don't buy into during this video. So one super smart guy who I have a lot of respect for said, but this can be done with AI. You can just ask ChatGPT to give you keywords, to give you Quora answers and yada, yada, yada. And it's true, you can do that. But it comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of your personal connection with the people. When you do the work manually, when you search through the plethora of text, and when you read and see the exact words, how people discuss some points, you train your own neural networks to recognize the style, to recognize the words. And it's one thing to know what people care about, and it's another thing to feel it. And when you immerse yourself into these dialogues, you start feeling it, and then you can word it in a way that gives you your unique style and doesn't sound as ChatGPT. You get your own voice. I believe in combining the top-down approach, getting the figures with AI, like for the sake of speed, for the sake of just having a quick top-down level view, helicopter view of what's going on in the market, and also immersing yourself bottom up in the ground, like going just like soaking in the way your clients speak. This is so powerful. After running through all of this, you get the source of ideas, what to speak about, and you're going to package it into a format that is easy to digest. It could be a how-to format, myth debugging, storytelling, or before-after delta stories. You can read some formulas here. I'm not going to read them from the screen. Now that you know why you want to do public speaking and you get your ideas, it's time to execute them. And if you want, I can shoot more detailed videos on each and every step. Just let me know what you would like to know more about. Now I'm going to give you a quick execution map with the order of steps, because there are some common pitfalls when beginner public speakers mix up the order and it doesn't end up well, right? Okay, the first super common pitfall is first to prepare a speech and then to find audience for it, which sucks. First, you need to find the audience and then prepare a speech for it. It could be online or offline audience, both sources are valid. But first you need to find who you speak for and then prepare a presentation for them. Because if you start from the presentation, then you will end up forcing it on your audience. And that's not a good idea. It's not going to resonate. Let's think about where you can find your audience. You can look for your audience online and offline. When you look for your audience online, it could be starting your own blog or podcast. It takes time. You can also give talks for other people's channels. You can do broadcasts on Instagram. You can be a guest on other people's podcasts. Believe me, they are permanently podcast hosts. They're permanently looking for guests, and they will be grateful when you reach out to them. Just start with smaller podcast hosts and move your way up gradually after proving your success at every step. Then you can also give speeches for professional associations. Whether you're a lawyer, doctor, teacher, you can find professional associations, either formal ones or informal communities on Facebook, or WhatsApp, yada, 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 Slack. You can find communities of professionals and give workshops and presentations for them online via Zoom. And similar sources exist offline as well. You can go to co-workings around your town, because they are looking for speakers to engage their guests. You can look for libraries or cafes, or you can go one step up and give speeches for universities and corporations. Now that you know who you're going to speak for, you can adapt your presentation specifically for them using this 3-step approach. The first step is to start not with a linear preparation, because like what happens is that you open Google Doc and you get this writer's block. You start staring at the screen or planning in a linear way, starting with the title and then thinking what to put next, how many slides there should be, and it feels so forced and it takes time and it doesn't end up engaging at all. Start planning from the end, from the outcome. And it's important not to neglect both sides, the outcomes for you and the outcomes for your audience, because that's a give and take approach. And if one side is losing out, it's not going to work. If you're going to be all altruistic and sacrifice your own needs, you're going to burn out. If you're going to be super egotistical and thinking only about your own gains and not about the audience's gains, it's not going to end up well either. So think about your outcomes, what you want to get at the end. It could be very tangible outcomes, such as the number of subscribers or new clients. It could be a feeling that you want to walk away with, like I want to feel confident, or it could be pictures with social networks. Why not? The key is to be honest with yourself, what you really want to get. Because if you're gonna lie to yourself that I want to do one thing but then hope for another thing, then you will never ever be happy with the results. Now, speaking about the audience's results, think back to the why section. Do you want to entertain them? Do you want to inform them? Do you want to demonstrate something to them? What do you want them to know and how you want them to feel by the end of your speech? Now you can find the points at the intersection and start from them. Now that you know that, you're going to plan 3 to 5 Well, if you're a beginner, start with 2-3 core points, the gist, right? So for me, my 3 points is for you to work with your personal whys, ideas, and execution steps. That's it, just 3 points, right? Do not make these 10 lists, like long listicles. It's going to end up so confusing. Yes, you can add some sub details later on, but it should start with the main tree of 2 to 3 points. Don't confuse you guys. Now that you know these points, it's time to plan your hooks, how you're going to walk through the presentation and to deliver these points in a cohesive way, in a way that the whole talk sticks together, doesn't fall apart, and keeps engaging the attention of your listeners who are constantly distracted by the anxieties, reels, calls. It's so hard to keep them focused. How are you going to do that? With hooks. Hooks come in different ways. Visual hooks is the colors, sounds, memes, fonts. It could be emotional hooks, right? How you trigger your audience emotionally. Maybe you arise like curiosity. Maybe you are a horror movie director and you're like great at suspense and creating tension, right? But you need to engage your audience emotionally. You need to plan for that. Don't leave it to the chance. You decide how and what they should feel at each point. Be that kind of designer. And then you also need to help their memory, aid their memory for your audience not to lose the attention. Give them clear bullet points and lists. Organize your speech by constant reminders of what you've done already and where you're moving next. And use and overuse, especially if you are in the educational, not entertainment sphere. If you are in education, overuse signposting language, right? Signposting language, I think you know what it is. Especially the hooks are important, especially at the beginning and the ending of the presentation, because these are the key powerful moments to grab the attention. And then after you decide what hooks to place at the beginning, at the end, you can work some of them around in the middle. Guys, no jokes aside, I'm super proud of you because that was not an easy breezy walk. You've done a lot of reflection, a lot of learning, and a lot of soul searching, and now you are working way, way, way stronger, and you are honestly ready to make your first mini public speaking goal. And I encourage you to pause this video again and to plan for whom you can start speaking next, in what format it can be, with what goal, with what kind of outcomes for yourself and for your audience, and where and how you can make it happen, in what medium, right? YouTube channel, podcast, co-working. You need to visualize this picture for your next move, and by when. By when you feel that you can make it happen. Maybe already next week, maybe this week, maybe next month. Decide for yourself and put a time frame on your goal. I know that you can start doing it, and public speaking is not only about gathering stadiums. It's literally for everyone who wants to engage people around for various reasons. And I'm rooting for you, and I want to see your first videos and presentations. Please keep me posted. I will be happy to see more ideas shared and not get buried in your head. Спасибо, друзья. До свидания.